When I got my tennis shoes in the mail a few days ago, I decided to make a spec ad because I've been watching these videos from creators like Batch Visuals and they look incredible. So I wanted to try out the speed ramping technique in a product video, and this is how it turned out. In this video, I'm going to break down how I filmed and edited the product commercial you just saw and share with you some of the tips to help you make better product videos. I have created chapters in the video in case you want to skip ahead. First, I planned out the entire video and created this short list. Then I prepped the product, and by prepping I mean properly putting in the laces and putting a few pieces of foam inside so that the shoe maintains its shape. Then I cleaned it up, and now we can start with setting up the lights to get the first shot. The setup here is really simple. I have the shoe on a black acrylic sheet as I need some reflections on the bottom in my shots. To light this scene, I am using an Aperture P60C with a softbox and a grid so that the light doesn't spill on my background. Now let's get a few rotating shots because we will be creating this shot, and this one from the same clip. And I'll show you how when we get to the editing part, so please stick around till the end. Now let's change the lighting setup for the next shot. Here I have the shoe hanging from a thin string, and the way I have decided to light this is I want to have a really prominent contrast that makes this scene look not as flat as the first one, because we do not have anything going on in the background or the foreground. It's just a product and a dark space around it, and if the shot doesn't have any depth, it won't look good. So to make it look a bit more three-dimensional, I am going to have a very harsh light coming in from this side, and for that I use the Amaran 100D with a standard reflector. This light will create really prominent shadows and texture, as you can see in this shot. One of the best things when working with products like this is that they are not reflective, so you have a lot of options when trying to light them, as opposed to working with glass objects or other glossy products, because you have to be really careful when lighting them to avoid reflections and harsh highlights or shadows. To light the other side of this product, I'll be using the Amaran P60C with the softbox again as a fill. This will create a soft light on the other side, creating this contrast using the shadows, as you can see here. And now let's add one more light, which is going to be this Vizim Pocket RGB light. I'm using this to light up the edges and create a separation between the product and the background. We are all set to start shooting now, and I'm going to film everything handheld as we need a lot of different kinds of movements in these shots. I filmed all of this in 60 frames because we are going to slow it down in post. Now that we have covered the shooting part, let me break down how I edited these clips to create the final commercial. For the first shot where the three stripes of the shoe appear, I took a frame from the clip where the stripes are properly visible and used the masking tool in the color tab to remove them from the clip. Then I created a compound clip and brought it into the Fusion page. Now we need to add an edge detect and a glow node and adjust the settings so it looks like this. By the way, I'm not talking about the editing part in detail because it would make the video really long. However, if you would like to watch a more detailed video on any of these parts, then please leave a comment down below and I'll make one for you. According to my shortlist, we have the part where the stripes glow, and now we need a part where an outline of the shoe appears around the stripes. So for that, once again, I'm going to take the rotating shoe clip and add a speed ramp. And I'll repeat the same process of using the edge detect and the glow in Fusion tab. Remember, it's important to keep the edge detect and the glow settings same for all the clips so that they can match. I made this into a compound clip, and where the glowing edge clip ends, I am going to attach the clip of the shoe rotating to create the effect that it formed out of an outline. I added a speed ramp, a camera shake and a light leak effect to mask the transition of the shoe forming out of a glowing outline. I also added a lightning effect overlay that I downloaded from VidEasy, as it brings all of these shots together. We are done with the intro part. Now let's start creating the rest of the ad. I created another timeline in Resolve and set its frame rate to 60 frames. Because we also shot the handheld clips at 60 frames, we'll slow them down in that timeline, since this one is set to 24 frames. We now have to create a transition from the shot of the shoe being horizontal to vertical. And to hide this transition, I'm going to try to use the motion in this shot. Let me show you how. The first clip ends when the shoe partially fills the frame and it's turning left to right. So I need a clip that starts the same way and has the same motion. And I think this one is going to work if I just reverse it. This is why I shot it from so many angles and used so many different takes. I am going to slow down all of these clips in timeline 2 from 60 frames to 24 frames, and I am also going to stabilize them. Then I'll bring them back in timeline 1 and do the speed ramping, add a color correction and add some other effects. After speed ramping and color correction, it looks something like this. Now I'm going to repeat the same process with the rest of the clips. I will try to match the angle and the motion of the first clip to the next one, so it all seems like one smooth shot. On the points where the transition happens, I'm going to add a layer of adjustment clips that will have motion blur to hide it. This will help to create a smooth transition effect. I'm adding keyframes to the adjustment clip so that the motion blur is highest when the transition happens. Now for the last part where the shoe changes colors, I took a clip of the shoe where it was just suspended with the string and rotating. Then I removed the string using DaVinci Resolve's wire removal and added a speed ramp. Then I made a copy of the clip. Then in color tab, I added a serial node, selected the blue color and changed it to green. Since it is going to be visible for a very short while, my selection and color change do not have to be perfect. This is how the shoe changes color from blue to green and then to red as I repeated the process one more time. Again, to cover it up, I added motion blur when the shoe rotation starts to speed up. This is the last part of the edit, so I brought back the lightning effect overlay once again. The commercial ends in the same way as it started with the 3 stripes that are in the Adidas logo. Then I just added some Foley sound effects such as lightning and the whoosh sound when the transition happens to help sell it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to watch more videos like this. A big thanks to all of you who watched it till the end. Here is another video where I break down another commercial that I created. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you again soon. Have a great day.